Hi, everyone. Welcome to the So Far So Good podcast. This is Nisha.
I'm Ekta.
I'm Aryan.
And today we have a guest on our podcast. That's right, people. We made it.
That's right, people. We have friends. Like, we don't
I'm just
just
kidding.
talk to each
You
other.
may or may not have heard of this lady. Lucy,
Why
do you
would
want to
anyone
just
know?
introduce yourself?
You're not doing a great
Yeah,
job.
Lucy, you should introduce
Oh my gosh,
yourself,
just
'cause I
do
know
it.
Didi's gonna butcher it.
Okay, what do you want to know?
I guess just what's...
I feel like we need to introduce what we're gonna talk about today, and that's friendship. So I think a good way to start is just kind of talk about how you met us and how our friendship started.
No, I'm just kidding.
Can't with you, Nisha. Okay,
Be
cool.
honest about it too, because I know you met Didi first, though.
Yeah, Arian, we're not really friends, but so that's
dang!
That's what
Like-
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
no,
We should
but
have
we're
done
not
an
like
intro.
enemies. We're just like we're like cool with each
Oh,
other.
we know each other. We're
Yeah, but I only know him
acquaintances,
through y'all. So
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Lucy, friends of Ekta and Nisha for like, is it less than a year now?
No, I
I
think
was
it's been more than a
thinking about
year.
that. Like,
Maybe
how long
for
has
with
it been?
Ekta.
Maybe a little bit over a year. I can't
Yeah.
remember because I was living in the other apartment complex when we first met. Okay, so Nisha, how I met you. I was thinking about this right before I got on because I was like, how do I know Nisha? And it's kind of like how related to like how you make friends as an adult. And
Yes.
it was like it's not the first interaction that gets you friends, it's like the third or fifth down the line. So I have a coworker who I said, yeah, I want to go to the gym a little bit more. And he took me one day and he was like showing me, okay, this is how you properly lift weights and blah, blah, blah. He introduced me to Marlon, who was like the
We're
fitness.
name dropping on the
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, like no one listens to our
No one
podcast,
knows.
so
Yeah, that's true.
it's fine.
You're safe for
Okay.
now.
I just name dropped. Yeah, that's fine. So he introduced me to Marlon, who was like a personal fitness instructor, and did like group workout classes. And then when I started going to Marlon's classes, then I think that's when I said yes to going to a party that Marlon had, and that's when I met Nisha. So like the third
Yes.
thing down the line, that's when I met Nisha. And I think Nisha was freaked out when she first met me
Oh, yeah.
because I was looking for friends.
I will never forget.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, Nisha's like pretty cool. Like in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like go out there and like do something. I was like, hey, can I get your number? Like you seem really cool, and
That's-
I want to chat.
Wow.
And she looked at me like I was a serial killer, like for real.
Oh, I bet Didi, you did not hold back.
Bro,
Like I can
no,
tell.
no. Here's the thing. I got my reasons, and I'll get into why. Continue, Lucy.
Yeah.
So yeah, despite that, I was like, give me your number, basically. And like I think you were so polite, like you didn't want to say no. And I was like, what's a
That's
start?
a problem I have. Maybe that could be an episode, you guys. How to say no. Just
How to
kidding.
say no.
Not to this, but like an
That's
other.
crazy.
That's so funny. So yeah, and then I don't know when the first time after that we hung out.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
pretty sure I probably texted you first because you were freaked out. But then after that, like we kind of got our gang together a little bit, so to speak. Like I was like probably pickleball. That was probably the next thing because you didn't have a dog then, and that was
Yeah.
how I made a lot of other friends is through my dog. I was like, we should go walk our dogs together.
Oh, really? That's
Oh.
crazy.
It's a
Wait,
pro
so we...
tip.
Yes, we're gonna get into that because I haven't heard of that before. So yeah, okay. The reason I was freaked out when Lucy asked me for my number was because I've never had a girl ask me for my number, and then
And what did you assume? What did you assume was that I was hitting on you?
Yeah.
My husband was there.
no.
Wait, did you actually think that, Didi?
No, not that.
Okay.
Not that. No, it was what I was thinking was, dang, like this girl is like very forward, you
Yeah.
know? And like I guess you just like cut to the chase and like it was bold too.
Yeah.
And honestly, I respected that. And yeah, like I didn't know how to say no. Like why? So I was like, sure. I mean, you know, but like the other reason is I feel like I've been to parties and stuff like that where when a girl is just way too nice to me, And like first I love it, and then it ends up with that girl being in some kind of MLM and trying to sell me like
my God.
leggings and stuff. Yeah. They're like all of
You
a
thought
sudden
it was like
they
part of
have
a
my number.
Ponzi scheme?
Yes.
Crazy.
All of a sudden they have my number and they're texting me and they're like, "Hey, do you want to be like a boss girl from home?" And
No,
you
I
know,
don't.
like
No, actually, totally get that, right? Because those people are so forward. And
yeah,
there's
because
very
like yeah, but anyway, but like honestly, like the initially it was just it totally caught me off guard. But I like the thing that came after that was just respect. I was like, dang, like this girl is different
Yeah.
than like a lot of the other people I know, and so yeah, and like I thought Lucy was super cool. She was funny.
I am pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool and funny. You're so right. But then I don't know how I met
yeah.
Ekta. It was probably like a hangout night or something.
I know.
Probably
I know.
pickleball. Oh,
Yeah, it was pickleball. It was pickleball.
It's
So
always
I knew
Didi
it.
was like, "Hey, I have some friends coming to play pickleball, and do you and Justin want to come?" And I was, you know, Didi hangs out with a lot of like older people. Like I don't know why, she just gets along with older people really well.
I do.
And so for some reason, I was expecting like a couple in their 40s. Like I was straight up expecting.
is it because one of my core group of friends they are in their 40s?
Not just because of that. I just feel like you hang out with a lot of older people. So anyway,
Me
so when I
too.
met Lucy, I was like pleasantly surprised because she's younger, but not because of hanging
Is this
out with
ages?
older.
That's
No,
crazy.
guys. Let me
We
explain.
get canceled every episode, by the way,
Yeah, we
Lucy.
always say
So
something freaking
welcome.
wrong. But
Yeah.
no, not because I don't like hanging out with older people, but it's like I'm not as good as Didi with hanging out with older people. Like I'm more comfortable around people my age. So yeah. So yeah, we met
That's
at pickleball,
interesting.
and Lucy's like very good at pickleball.
Yeah,
So
and
is
so
her
I've
husband.
stopped going to pickleball, and Ekta's replaced me, so she
Yeah.
goes to pickleball with Lucy. So that was great story, guys. Love that.
Now we know who
So
Lucy is.
kind of like going back to the reason we're doing this episode, right? So the main point is how to make friends if you are moving to a new city, a new place. I think there's a lot of value that can be added here because so many people are in this situation. And I know Aryan is kind of like one of the biggest examples, at least in our family, of just planting himself in like a place where he knows no one and then just making a life there. So
I feel like
and-
it's
yeah.
like half true though, because like I went
Oh.
for school. I think it's a lot
Yeah.
easier to make friends when you're actually going to like college versus like if I move somewhere for my job, then like I only know the people at work, and I think it's a lot harder to make friends like at work.
So when you went to school, so I kind of like I think like in life, like that was probably like one of the only places where I forced myself to kind of create like a new community, and it was at A&M. But the thing is, I already kind of knew people there as well. So, Aryan, like how did you start? Like, so someone that's going to a school in the middle of nowhere or whatever, you didn't go in the middle of nowhere, but like, what are some tips that you have? You know, like how did you find your community, your core group of friends?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so my first group of friends I had wasn't like my main one that I would have later on. I think that's the case like a lot of the time.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
for sure. Same thing with me.
Because I don't think the first like few friends you make are the ones like that you like have like for the rest of your time
In college.
Like usually,
Yeah.
like, but like my first group, I like still like hang like I still hung out with them a lot. But like that was because like we were all in like the same like small like group class. So and it was during COVID. So like my first year, I was
Casual.
Love it.
Yeah.
my first year it was online, and so whenever we would have those small classes, everyone wants to get to know each other, right? Because we wanted to make it feel like as much of like an actual college experience as possible. So once we got like in person, we all met up and we hung out.
Yeah.
But my actual group of friends that I made was like through a fantasy basketball like group chat.
What?
Wait, how'd you get to the
Fantasy
group chat?
basketball? I thought
Dude,
it
it
was
was-
fantasy football, not basketball.
It was like in some like bigger group chat with like that was like everybody in like the class of 2024 that was in, and then someone was like, "Oh, join this if you want to like be in like this like fantasy basketball thing." So then we all joined up, and then like when you have something that everyone like cares about and wants to talk about, especially something like basketball, everyone wants to argue basketball, everyone wants to talk about it. I think that something like that is like an easy way to like make friends, because like you just talk so much about it. You want to meet up, you want to like go play basketball, you want to go watch basketball together, and it's just like that's like that was the main way that I made like my like main friend group. And then once you have a bunch of people that you know, then like it's just like a network tree, you know, you just meet a bunch of more people. So I think initially it's the hardest, but if you can find like some type of group that relates to like some one of your interests or one of your hobbies, I think that's like the main way that I would think that like you can make friends. Yeah.
So I agree with Aryan. College and even work is a lot easier, but moving to like what Lucy you did, to a whole new state, right? And you've moved multiple times, right, in your life.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I grew up in Colorado. Stop, Lewis. I can't. He's just always in the way. Um, so
he has
so
something to
I
say.
what?
I said he has something to say.
He always has something to say. Meow, meow, quote Lewis. So I grew up in Colorado, and then I went to school at the University of Wyoming, and then from there I had an internship in Dallas. And then Bradley had an internship in California, and then we moved to Texas full time.
Okay.
After.
So
So
how did you make your first friend in Dallas? Did you know anybody
Wait, and do
before
you still talk to them? Because Aryan just said his first friends, he doesn't really hang out with them as much.
I have like so many thoughts about this. Okay, so the first time I moved to Texas, the only like friends I had were like work friends, and low key they did not understand how cool I was. Like I have no idea when people don't want to be my friend because I'm like we'll have fun. And
Yes.
so the issue there was that most of the interns I interned with, they grew up in Texas. They went to a Texas school and then they got an internship in Texas. So they didn't need to like make friends. So when I was like, "Hey, would y'all want to do like a movie night, or would you guys want to have like a Taco Tuesday?" They like it was like pulling teeth trying to get plans together. One of my intern buddies from there, Bryn, I still talk with her, and we have like a book swap. So that's like we don't have time to get together like every other week or every week or even every month. So every maybe like 2 to 3 months, one of us will reach out and be like, "Hey, girl, like I read this book. I think you'd like it." And then we meet up for breakfast or dinner, and then we just bring a book the other one might want to read. And so then we want to get that book back too. So then
Yeah.
every other couple months we do the
Right.
same thing again. And so that was nice. So the first time in Dallas it wasn't so long term. Like I knew my internship was going to be there for 3 months, and I didn't know if I was going to fully move down. And that's also what happened in California. I was like, I'm here for 3 months. I don't know if this is going to be a full time thing. Why plant roots? That sort of thing. What maybe an okay mindset, maybe not. I think I was more lonely in those times because there's not community. So I liked when we finally decided to like, okay, we're gonna move to Dallas for the foreseeable future. That made saying like, okay, I want to make friends here much more
Yeah.
meaningful and not
Yeah.
fleeting.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because that requires commitment, right? It's interesting what you said about the plant roots kind of thing. Because that's something that, you know, like there's so many people you meet in your life, but you can't be going around planting roots with every single person. I mean, like everybody, there's a time and place, right? Like it's okay, like to network or whatever, but like I'm just starting to become more mindful of just who of this person that I met today, right? Like maybe I went to a party and there were so many people that like I talked to, but who do I want to continue to engage with? So what is the driving factor for you guys for that? You know, where like you're like, oh dang, like I actually want to meet this person again. And like I can see myself being long term, like I want to get to know this person.
Such a good question. I mean, it goes back a little bit to Aryan's point about like how he had something that was connecting everyone, and then those relationships just grew deeper. So like there's a podcast I listened to before, and it was saying like all friendships have to start with an about. Like what is the friendship about? So Ariane's was basketball. For me and a lot of the places I went, like apartment wise, like if I was walking and I met other people with dogs, I was like, oh, what's your dog's name? Oh, you live in the building. Very cool. And so like our about was that we have pets. And so then it kind of starts in one place and it can grow to others. So like Nisha, like our about was fitness, but then we both
we don't do anything.
fitness. And then it was
We did do a 5K though. No,
We did do
facts.
a
No, actually, we do be doing like I know I can hit up Lucy for
Yeah.
fitness stuff for sure.
which is wild. Like middle school Lucy would be gagging that you said that. But yeah, so it's like fitness, but then it went like now we're pet parents, now we're like also kind of like business entrepreneur. Like the more we got to know each other, the more we realized we had in common. So like the driving force for me is that I don't want to just live my life for work and that's it. And I know some people they're more introverted and that's fine too. Like my brother, he wants to make friends and he's more introverted. So like when we were chatting about how does he make friends, I was like, it doesn't have to be something like that has to be super overstimulating or something like that. So especially when he moved to a new place, because he's originally from Colorado, then he went to school in New Mexico and then Pennsylvania and then North Carolina, and now he's in
Jeez, what the
Washington.
heck?
Dude,
So, yeah, our
you're a
family was
family.
all those
moving like
places?
crazy. We were moving like crazy, but now he's been in Washington for a hot minute and he really likes like video games. But who you playing video games with, you know? And so I was like, if
You
you
find the
want to make
most,
friends, you
like-
got to put in some effort. So like go out of the house and maybe if he's not tied to like a religious organization or he doesn't like want to do a sports league, which are I feel like those are the main way people find friends. I told them try
Like
volunteering.
guys,
There's gotta
right?
be
Mostly
something.
guys, I think.
I
feel
think so.
I feel like guys have a way harder time. I would say making new friends. Like they usually tend to stick around with the same circle that they've had growing up. I don't know. I don't know why
That
is.
is true. You know why? It's because guys have like what interests do they have?
Hector, Arian, do you want to answer that? But then also,
No,
here's the
okay,
thing.
What
Like,
I mean to say is
so
girls
funny.
are open to doing so many things. Like Lucy was talking about her friend who they have like a book swap thing. Can you even imagine a guy being like, you want a book swap? Like, I feel like it's not gonna, it doesn't happen. Maybe in New York it happens more, but even, I don't know. I just feel like
But-
there's less.
I guess that's interesting because, like, Arian, like, you don't play video games. Well, like, sometimes you do, right?
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you
I
know.
play 2K, which is a basketball video game.
Oh my
Arian's just
God,
like-
dude,
So,
it's
like,
your
that's
whole
like
world.
another
Arian,
way.
your
Yeah.
personality is
Basketball.
one thing.
I was gonna
Just
say,
kidding.
I think with guys, it's like once you have your group, you feel like no need to like really
Oh
branch
my
out that
gosh,
much. You
yes.
know, it's like, but if I keep like seeing the same person over and over again in our like mutual like gatherings or whatever, then we'll become friends. But it's not like I tried to make this person my friend. You know, it just.
But
happened.
that's the thing. Like, why?
What do you
Because
mean?
Arian just
'Cause
said
I just said it. I
basically-
already have my group. You know, like
No, but then like I'm going like even deeper than that, right? Because like, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. I have my group. Well, no, like I feel like I have multiple groups.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean?
Wait, should I say something very controversial right now?
Please.
No!
I love drama.
Okay, I have a theory.
God.
It's because guys are more loyal to each other and have longer lasting friendships, whereas girls have more falling outs. So, I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
girls are always looking for like a friend that will be a true friend to them, and a lot of times you just fall out with them. Whereas like even for Justin, like his friends, he's known since freaking like elementary school, younger. And he also, when Arian said like he feels no need to, you know, make new friends, I see that same thing in him, which I just like can't even understand. But like he's just like, I don't need new friends, so like he never puts in the effort. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that's what I'm thinking.
But
what do
they're
you think
happy.
about that, Lucy? I want to know.
It's not
'Cause,
like
like-
we're like anti making friends. Like if I meet
Yeah.
someone, I'm like, oh, this person's super cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to hang out with this person more. But it's not like I was going out trying to find that person, you know?
See, that's the thing. But
I
like,
think
but like
that's what makes
sometimes,
the
so that's the thing. Like even with Derek, right? Like, Hector, what you said about falling outs and stuff like that. I don't think Derek's had a falling out with any of his like friends. You know,
okay,
he's
but
just
to
like
that
they're just
point-
there.
But to that point, I
But
feel
I
like
have had
guys.
falling outs.
No. But the thing is that guys, I feel like, are conflict averse in so many circumstances that they're like, oh, they said this thing, and I'm just gonna not care about it, and we're gonna move forward, and that's how life is. And
Yeah.
then
Arya's
Natalie
like,
was telling me about like something one of the dudes said at game night, and I was like. I would be reeling. That person would get smacked and like and I just can't because I'm not okay with things like
Oh.
that. So I think guys are more like
I feel like
okay,
we
let's
take
talk
things like less personal. Like I don't look
Yeah,
too
always
deep
turning
into
into
things.
that.
I will
No,
always
that's
take
true. Like I'm taking it personally right now. What Aryan just said.
I agree with Arn. It's because they're more chill. I'm not trying to like, kind of like get on to like women, but I do think it's a problem that we have, and guys are just more chill. You have to do something pretty bad in order to like have there be a conflict, I think, right? What do you think, Aryan? Literally the only guy
Yeah,
here.
no, like literally. I mean, because I feel like our like at the base, the way we talk to each other is already so like how are you all talking to each other like that? So that like you'd have to say something really bad to be like, oh wait, what? Like what was that? Because we already sound like we hate each other. You
Like
know?
you
So
guys
it's
are like all the time like your mom and all of this, and y'all are like, that's fine. This is how we talk to each
yeah,
other.
I mean, it's already like so weird. So it's just like to take something personal, it has to be something that's said that's very personal. And then at that point, it's like you can't just let that fester. Like you have that conflict right then, right now. You resolve it like at that.
versus
resolve
like
it right there,
with,
you know?
with like again, I don't want to generalize, but I mean, just speaking for myself, like I definitely like think about it again and again and again. Derek comes home, I tell him about all the problems, and then like I'm on Google, on Reddit, like how would you react? Like AITL.
Yeah, no, that's
you know?
crazy. That's
You
what,
go
what
on
is that?
ChatGPT and
No
you're like,
way.
why are my friends acting this way?
Yeah, low key.
no.
So, but that is so interesting. Like, so basically, guys are simple and women are complicated.
We're
What's
more
new?
complicated. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the main topic.
Yeah, what
What
was
were
the
we
topic?
talking-
Before
Okay,
I-
so you guys, so some of the things that, like Aryan said, have common interests, right? Or like pursue groups or whatever. Those friendships tend to like stick around. Lucy, did you say dogs?
Oh yeah, you should totally get a pet. But I mean,
No.
I
So
think
how
it
did
does
that help you? Like, have you made friends through?
because so what happens in my apartment complex that I lived in, we specifically chose that apartment because it had a yard for our dog. And like every other one on like our row had a dog because they wanted the yard. So then when they were outside, because you have to take the dog outside, I'd be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going, neighbor?" And
Yes,
and I'm quite
yes.
like, what's the word? I will be like targeting a person. I'll be like, oh, I think we're gonna be friends. And so then I'll just be like overly
truth.
nice because that they remember me. And then on our walks, I'll like be like, hey, what's your dog's name again? Or what's your name again? And so then the next time I try and like say their name. So the people right next to us, Jonathan and Grace, their dog Chip, love him. So I'd be like, how's Chip doing? And then they'd start talking about Chip because they can't, some people don't want to talk about themselves, but they'll talk about their pets forever. And I love that because I also like my dog. So then we'll chat about that. And it slowly grew to when like now when they're out of town, we'll watch each other's animals. And like
Yeah.
we just went to a movie with them last week. And that's all because like I guess it starts with not putting pressure on it at the beginning. I know it sounds like I've put a lot of pressure, but I say just like say
But you
the
were intentional. Like that's
Yeah.
it, right? You're like, I'm new here. I want to make friends, so let me be a little nicer, or let me try
Yeah.
to conversate, right?
Yeah,
You
because
can't
it's not
just-
like
yeah.
fake or anything, but I know that up front in a friendship I have to put in more effort for someone to maybe like see a potential friendship later down the road.
Actually, I think that's a great idea. Especially if you have a dog, because like every time I take Duke to the dog park, like the owners just kind of like get around the same circle, and we're just talking. Sometimes I'm like,
It's like
I
when
don't
kids are at a
have time
playground
for
and the
new
parents are all
friends.
talking.
yeah,
it's-
yeah. But it's a great way actually, because like especially like you'll see them like again and again, especially if it's an apartment complex, it's smaller. But
But
it's a
not
great
everyone
way.
wants a dog, okay? So we need to go to
Dude,
the
I
other
was gonna
reasons.
say
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if you're like talking to someone new and you want to have a good conversation, you have to figure out what they want to talk about or something that they like to talk about. Because people can go on and on about things that they actually enjoy, like talking about, you know. So you just need to find that thing. I feel like that's my main way when I'm like talking to new people. I need to figure out like what it is that they like, and then I can ask them questions about that, and then you have like a 20-minute conversation because they're just explaining to you something that like they care about. You know, so it's like, yeah, someone obviously cares about their dog a lot. They want to talk about their dog a lot, and then that's an instant way that you can have like a back and forth, and you can talk. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
agree.
that's like what I think of.
I mean, but the difference is too is that yeah, there's sometimes you don't want a dog, but it's the starting off point. You need to be in an orbit where people are also. So like the example of that where you don't have a dog, maybe you join a sports league because then other people like that same thing. The thing with the dog, I feel like it's almost a bit like you have a crutch there, right? You're like, oh, I'm with my dog, like it's chill. But like if you go to a sports league and you're all by yourself, maybe you feel like really, I don't know, uncomfortable, awkward. Maybe you don't want to go up to people initially. So sometimes I feel like you got to put on like a persona of just like, oh no, this is outgoing me. This is the outgoing
Yeah.
version of me, and the outgoing version of me
Fake
does
it
this
sometimes.
at least on the first time I do something new. And so it's a little bit of fake it till you make it, but also I feel like when people get to a point of when they feel so maybe hurt that they don't have community or lonely because they don't have like other people to talk to, it will prompt them to action and say, okay, where can I find these people? And then it'll make them go to that place.
Yeah. And like a lot of times you also don't know the person that you're interested in talking to, what their life is like. Maybe they're also wanting to make new friends, you know, maybe they just have an RBF or whatever, you know, but like internally they're all smushy and they're super open to talking. They're just afraid to make the first step.
Dude, that's everybody. I feel like
Right?
Yeah.
So
people are just social people. You know, they want to talk.
They
like, You just
do.
need to figure out something to latch on to.
Even if they're introverts, right?
Anybody.
Yeah. And
Well, okay, so I was thinking about this also. One of the things about Lucy, and I feel like Lucy, you have so many good little tips. Like even as you're talking, I'm hearing like you're very good at like
just
you
taking
have that
notes.
skill, basically. I know I'm taking notes. But I was thinking one of the things that because I'm not, you know, I kind of have like, I guess, an established group of friends where like I don't feel like I put myself out there to try and make new friends, right? And so I was thinking about how did like Lucy and I get close? How did we all get close? Because it's rare for a new person to enter my life if it's not from work or school or something like that. And I think one of the best things was, I think, Lucy, you're very good at making plans. So you will like be like, you will reach out and be like, hey, do you want to go do this? Do you want to go do that? And just by you doing that, we would be meeting up like a couple times a week. And I realized one of the best ways, and honestly, the only way to make like a close friendship is by spending a lot of time with someone. Like, you can't meet someone once or twice a month and be like, yeah, we're going to be good friends. That's not going to happen. You're never going to feel truly comfortable. But with you, Lucy, we just hang out so often that now I'm genuinely like, we are so close. Like, I feel so comfortable around you. So
Yeah,
that's
same.
one thing.
And I feel like that goes back to like when we were talking about like doing the podcast, like what are good qualities in friends? And like one of the things that I really value is like reciprocity. So there was a period where I was like really just trying to find friends, right? Before when I came to Dallas, it seemed like everyone already had their friend group. So then I was like, okay, new plan, where else can I maybe find some people to hang out with? And so then I got friends, and then I was like, okay, how do I make deeper connections with those friends? And now low key I'm in my pruning era. I have some people that I'm just like, I don't need that. Or some people drain my social battery.
that's the
like,
best
really
place to
fast.
be. Low
Yeah, some
key.
people just drain my social
Dude.
battery like super fast. I'm like, I can't. Maybe I'll see you once a financial quarter, and that's okay. But it's that reciprocity thing. Like, especially when I'm always the one making plans with people, it feels like an off balance relationship. And I like trying new things, and I know some people don't like trying new things. Like one of my friends, Lainey, she's like mega introverted. Like she does not want to like go out. So like we're meeting at the library on Wednesday to read. Like we are not
That's
going
cute.
and
That's
spending
fire.
money. We're gonna
Yeah.
sit and read together.
Yeah.
And because I want to be her friend, and I think she wants to be my friend, but she's like, I'm not going out and doing things. And I said,
That's
you know,
sweet.
thank you for being honest about that. But yeah, reciprocity, I feel like has been really helpful.
Yeah.
Making
Yeah.
friends.
So I guess what I'm getting here is that if you want friends or long-term friendships or it to go somewhere, like you also got to show up as well, you know?
Wait, Didi, are you a
What?
plan maker? Like, do you reach out to
Absolutely
other
not.
people?
Absolutely
Wait,
Yeah, I'm
not?
not
What?
either.
I
I don't
thought
think
I'm
Ekta is
not.
either. Oh,
Like,
I'm definitely
No,
not.
but
bro.
listen,
I
I'm
can't
definitely
be-
not. I don't think I've ever made plans.
I guess I'm kind of like, okay, well, Arian, I would want to know what yours is, like what's y'all's reasons why you don't make plans. For me, I would say kind of what Lucy said, like she's the pruning era, you know, like I feel like I'm already stretched so many different places and I have like different friends, different friend groups, whatever, that I just love it when someone else makes the plans, but I show up. Like I'm trying to show up more because I want quality friendships. So in order for me to do that, I need to show up. If somebody invites me to something or whatever, I'm gonna go there. And that's how I've actually made like a lot of my newer friends or whatever. Just going to a party that a friend invited me to, and I'm talking to everybody, and it's like, oh my god, like. How do I maintain this? You know, like, which
Well,
is
I think,
great. It's a
Didi,
great
you're-
problem to have. It's not even a problem. It's a first world problem. But, so yeah, I don't make plans. I really don't.
I
I
think
don't.
you do. I think
I
you
thought
do
I
make
thought you
plans.
kind of do.
Yeah,
though.
you more than Aryan or I, for sure.
Okay, Arian, what?
Like,
So you
have
don't make
game nights
plans?
and stuff.
I used
Me?
to. Now I've stopped. I show up to other people's game nights.
Yeah,
Ryan,
that's
why
what
don't you
I was
make
about to
plans?
say. I was about to say like the same thing. Like I literally never make plans, but if when someone invites me to something and I say I'm gonna go, then I will almost like always go, right? Like I'm not flaking. So I think that builds like a trust. So like they'll want to
Yeah.
invite me to more stuff because like whenever I say I'm gonna go, I always show up. you know?
Listen, that is so important.
So
You
if
know,
I already have that, then I'm like, bro, why am I making the plans, bro? One of my friends will just make plans, and then I'll just go to that, you know?
because they can count on you. They will know that, oh, Arian's going to come through.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Or
And
if I
think that's
can't, then
important.
I'll say it like in advance. You know, I'm not gonna blindside this person,
Yeah.
and they're gonna think
You know,
that I'm gonna show up. And
I used to be like a really bad friend. I used to flake all the time. I would say, yes, I'm going to come. And then 30 minutes before, I wouldn't show
Yeah,
up.
that's crazy. That's
But
how you
that's
lose friends,
crazy.
right
That's
there,
how you
bro.
lose friends.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's not right, especially to the people. Yeah, it's messed up. So if I say yes, I'm going to show up.
Dude, because it's hard
Almost
to plan
100% of the
things.
time.
Like I understand that at least. It's hard to get everyone together and do stuff. So
Yeah.
if people don't show up at the last second, that's super frustrating. Probably.
Yeah.
I think the reason I don't plan things,
Dude,
happen
none
in
of
the
us
past-
plan things.
Bro,
What?
I
Oh
mean,
no,
I'm
I do.
such a-
When I'm
Sorry,
going to play
Lucy.
basketball, then I
The
get
fact
people
that
to
you
come. That's like the only time.
Oh,
I-
you know
Yeah.
what? Yeah. But I'm gonna like the reason I never used to like plan things, or I guess still don't. Okay, is because I've never had to. I had my freaking friends from college, and then I had work. I was always going in person. I always felt so busy, and I just
Like you felt social already going to work.
yeah,
Like,
that and then
there wasn't like a
also-
feeling of loneliness or whatever.
But it's also, I will say, it's also like priorities. Like, I think I was so focused on, because I already had a group of friends, even if I'm not seeing them all the time, it was like I was so focused on work. And I feel like a lot of the times I'm a little bit selfish in that I am so focused on my own personal things that I can't be a good friend, which this is something I'm realizing more recently. But now that I feel like I'm coming to understand how valuable a good friendship is and how rare it is. And so when you do have those friendships, I think it is very important to be putting in effort there. Like, I think I should be making plans, and I think I'm going to try and change myself a little bit to make more time for friendships, because I realize now that like the friends I have, I may not have forever, but if I do have a good friendship, I need
Yeah.
to put energy into it because I have been selfish. Like sometimes I won't even text back, okay? Because I'm literally like, I'm so busy, but it's not, it's about like, you need to prioritize it.
Dude, there
because
was
you
an
won't always
episode
have-
where Ekta was like,
Oh, dude, what was the line?
Is
bro?
it
how
bad of
Oh,
me
my
that I text back 6 months after the text? It's like,
Oh my God, I think I listened
So
to that
messed up.
one
Did I
just
say 6
randomly.
months?
I think
So
I
Did I
listened
say
to
messed
six
up.
that.
months? No, guys, but I have completely changed.
That's the most
on that.
absurd thing I've ever heard
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
life.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't
It's like,
text me
that's
back if
messed
you're
up.
gonna text back 6
Facts.
months later.
Facts.
What?
like I
What?
get maybe like one day, but like honestly, listen, I think it also has to do with how important that person is to you. Because I'm also
Yeah.
guilty of that where I just like, but I don't really do that anymore. Like the people that I have around me are people that I actually want to hang out with. So
Yeah.
I like
Well, I think it
immediately text back.
also-
I'm not
it
a
doesn't-
texter though, so
I feel like you're a texter. I mean, in our group
oh my
chat.
god.
But
You're
like,
like, you be texting too much. But.
you be texting, not too much. But well, like what I think as well, you don't need to overthink it. Like I think that's a whole thing with friendships is that people are like, why does no one want to hang out with me or like do this or that? And I think that there's some introspective like thoughts that need to happen. But on you just go into a room and like assume people want to at least chat with you, like assume positive intent. And so like when y'all text me, sometimes you're like, hey guys, gonna go to a coffee shop tomorrow. You want to go? And it's not like, hey guys, I would like us to get together and sit.
No,
and
I'm like, I don't care if y'all show up.
Exactly.
Like,
You're
I'm
like,
just
I'm going. I thought you guys would want to go. And then you just like put it out there. So I think a lot of it isn't like formal events. You're like putting it out in the universe like, hey, I thought it'd be cool if y'all wanted to go. No worries if not. And then when there's like more like formal events, that's when I get upset with people who show up super late. Like, because, yeah.
targeted.
Get it. Well, I mean, I'll tell people.
No, that's
like,
important. That's important.
like
Yeah.
that's the thing too. I think some people they have expectations of friendships in their head and then they don't communicate that outwardly. So like when people like are showing up super late to things, like I've shamed y'all before. I'm not
No,
shy
I-
to
I
do that
like the
because I
honesty.
think we need to
I
say it.
appreciate that. Like I appreciate that honestly.
Because then it like sets the
Seriously.
tone for like, okay, we're an honest friendship.
Yeah,
And it also
yeah.
says, okay, well, if we're gonna have to be like on time to things or whatever, do we hang out more? Do we hang out less? Like, what does that look like in our friendship at this current moment in time? Because there's gonna be some times when you cannot invest a lot in a friendship, even though you really care about that person. And then there's gonna be times when you like see them like every other week, or like we were seeing each other like weekly before at one point, and then like we stopped seeing each other for a couple weeks, and we're like, yo, what happened? Like, where are we?
Yeah.
And so I think that's just like natural too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts.
no, it is natural, but still, at the end of the day, I just want to be, like, reach out to people more and just put more time into my friendships because I'm now realizing it's very important and life can't, like, I can't always use the excuse of, like, I'm working, because if you're not putting that energy in, you will lose those friendships, and that's an
Yeah.
important part of life, It's
Yeah,
like-
and especially so I've become a little bit more conscious of this year, because this year I just want to like show up more. I want to be just more social. Like if people invite me to stuff, I'll go and I'll talk to everybody, because I'm not planning on having kids, so I'm gonna get old, and the only people I'm gonna have are friends. So I want to have quality friendships where I can go do travel stuff with, and also we're all growing, right? Like in different directions. Like that's why like the same friends that I had in college, I might not talk to them every week as some of like newer friends, just because I'm just in a different space now, and like I have these different goals. But like we evolve, and I think it's almost boring like having the same people. Or I don't know, not boring.
I think
but
the same
it's-
people
you
can't
need new
occupy the same role.
perspectives.
Yeah.
Have
Have you ever heard of the six besties theory? It's like it like kind of went viral on TikTok, but it's basically like different people contribute to different areas of your life in terms of like friendship.
Yes. And it has nothing to do with like, oh, this friend is not good enough. Like, it's not that. It's just like everybody has different strengths, and sometimes you need like a certain friend to like
I see.
pour in your cup, or like, like, you know what I mean? Like you are different
Yeah.
friends.
expect everything from one friendship.
Absolutely
You
not.
can't yeah. So it's nice to have different people to hang out
Yeah,
with
that's
for
actually
different
so
reasons.
facts.
Yeah.
Arian, you do you have like different friends that you go to?
Yeah, now
Or
that I
different-
think about it, it's like a lot of my friends are like very different, you know. But it's like that's what
Really?
makes it. I think that's what makes each individual relationship stronger, you know. It's because if I lose this person, I lose this part of my life, you know. So it's like I need to make sure like I cultivate like this interaction with this
Yes.
person, even if it's like completely different from everyone else, you know.
All right,
That's
do
why.
you
Okay,
feel
that's
like
why
you
I'm
have-
not like super into. I guess like mixing, like trying to force all my friends to come together.
Yeah, I'm not really
Because
yeah,
I have
me neither.
like, but if it like at my wedding, right? If it happens, great. Everyone's old enough. Like we're here to celebrate me. Thank you. You know, like not you. So it's like just because I get along with somebody, that doesn't mean that like this friend has to be besties with this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
fine. That's why I don't get offended or anything. If like a friend is doing a party and like maybe I'm not, it's like fine. It's like I'm happy that you invited me to whatever you think felt like, you know, like I'm happy with
Yeah,
our
yeah,
equation.
yeah.
Not like, so I don't look at that, but sometimes social media can get you, you know, like just like recording. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm having so much fun. You're like, oh, thanks for the invite. Just kidding. Okay, guys, so we are like at the end of the episode. Maybe just to wrap it up, like what everyone, if we could just give an advice, you know, to somebody who's trying to make new friends. I have one, but should I go first? What do
Go
you guys
first.
think?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
So this did not work for me, but it worked
Wait, what?
for.
Why would you
Yeah.
give advice?
Why would you
if
start
it's
off?
hard?
Someone
It
else
worked
go
for
first.
somebody
Do a
else. It
different
worked
one.
for
No,
somebody else.
do a different
That's
It
one.
worked for somebody
confident.
else. So I was like at this like party this weekend, and like this girl was telling me that a lot of the girls in that at that place, she was like Bumble BFF apparently. So ladies, I don't know. I'm pretty sure guys can do it too. If you're really trying to make friends, try out Bumble BFFs. You know, like why do you give Tinder and Hinge? Like why do you give men a chance but not a woman a chance using those apps? So friendships, like she's found really great friends. I tried once just to see what like the experience is like because I've never been on dating apps. So I was like, I have a man, so I can't do that. It didn't work out. Everybody hated that friend in my friend group. So, yeah, but just try it before you knock it. Okay, who's next?
Okay. I don't have one yet, so someone else go.
I was gonna say like, all right, like we're talking about how important it is to like, you know, like go out and meet people and like have friends. But I feel it's also equally important to be able to be by yourself and not be lonely.
Yes.
So like, you know,
Yes.
like I have a friend that is always like calling someone, is always texting somebody, is always wants to be out and doing stuff. But I feel that's not super healthy either, you know? Like you need to be able to be comfortable being by yourself, doing your own thing. Maybe working on your own goals or just chilling, you know?
That's
Like,
how you
a
become
lot
an
of people, I
interesting
think
person.
this generation, a lot of people are very scared to just be with their own thoughts. Because when you're by yourself, you start thinking about things and, you know, but like, that's just what life is, you know?
There's
You won't
such a-
always have people around you.
I have
Also,
someone,
it's
I know
like-
someone like that.
It's like if you are comfortable being by yourself, you make a better friend too. You're not so desperate,
Yeah.
you know? And like no one wants
Yep.
to hang out with a desperate person. So,
Yep. Okay, Ekta, do you have one?
okay, fine. We'll have Lucy go last since she was the guest. Okay. My piece of advice is that go into a friendship being a little bit more yourself instead of trying to put some sort of a show for people. Like something I will realize I'm doing is like when I first meet someone, I'm like so overly nice. Like, oh my God, like, hi. And it's like, on the daily, I don't act like that. And I realize
You're like catfishing people.
no, but the thing is, like, I am energetic, but like,
Yeah.
I can't put that on for too much longer. And if I have a friend where that's how we interact with each other, where I'm like, so every time we see each other, like, oh my God, hey girl, like, I'm like, that's not me. It's just not me. So I want to now, like, be
crazy.
a little bit more myself when I meet someone and not try to be so like that, because it's not going to make the friendship last because I'm not comfortable. You know what I mean? So
That's interesting.
did that make sense? Like the whole thing?
Really? Kind of sounds like you're fake.
Hey, No, it's not
first
that.
time.
It's
No,
just
no, no,
I
no. I
want-
get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
think-
okay, fine.
I think it comes from I really want to let this person know that I'm approachable and I'm a nice person. But it's like I don't
Yeah.
need to be doing all that for them to have that, impression of me.
it's not even like that bad of a thing though. I like when people have good energy. When I first meet
And
them.
I'm gonna
it's
have
like,
good energy anyways, but like, not like
Yeah.
yeah.
You okay? You're just saying be real. Okay.
Be
Yeah.
more real. Don't try to put on a show.
Overdo it. Okay.
Yeah, overdo it.
Lucy, you have the
Mine
last
was-
word.
Yeah, mine was a little related to that. It was kind of like bring your authentic flavor to the conversation, but at the same time, like
be
have
original.
self-awareness because some people, y'all know I'm pretty direct, and also I don't want to waste other people's time, and I wouldn't dare waste mine. So I'm usually like, why don't we just cut all the rest and just be friends? Because I know we're gonna be friends in like 3 months, but why don't we just be friends now? And so I need to like keep the brakes on myself a little bit. And sometimes realize that like you, Nisha, like when we first met, like it was bold, but also it was like, okay, this person's probably okay with me asking for their number, not, hey, do you want to go to the movies tomorrow? And so that was like my version of that, and saying like, okay, some people might be skeptical, or they could have been hurt in the past by other friendships, or like XYZ, like you don't know other people's like background. And so just saying like, I can be nice and approachable and authentic, but I can also be self-aware that they might not be in that receptive place. So I mean, I've put myself out there for friendships that have not
Interesting.
reciprocated, and that is also okay. So it's kind of like water off my back, like it's all chill. So I think that piece is also
Yeah.
important to gauge when trying to have new friendships.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, not every person you talk to is going to become like your best friend, and unfortunately, you just don't know what they're going through, or like honestly, you're just not compatible, and just move
Yeah.
on. That's it.
I love how Didi's piece of advice was get on Bumblebee on that.
No,
Why?
my friend's
Why
done
is it
Bumblebee.
bad?
My friend,
Like,
my friend has done that.
That's what I'm
100%.
saying. Dude, why is Exa laughing? Yo,
No, I don't
some
know
people
why.
legit use it.
No,
No
it is
hate.
legit.
Anyways, this was a longer episode than typically we do. Anyways, thank you all so much for
Whoa,
listening.
Nisha's like, get me off
We
this call.
always
I'm
mess
so
up
bad.
the end. Like we don't know
It
how
was
to
so
end
bad.
the podcast.
Well, we really appreciate everyone listening. Please share in the comments just what advice you have, what's worked for you in making new friendships. That'll just help everyone out.
And
So
thank you
again,
Lucy, for being on the pod
Yes.
today. Our first ever guest.
well, no, Ecto, that is so offensive to Derek and Justin.
Okay.
Anyways,
I,
whatever.
forgot about
Like, okay, thank you,
The first
Lucy.
non-family friend. Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna try to continue to do this thing of like having friends on and just getting interesting perspectives. So, okay, bye everyone. See you on the
Okay,
next
bye,
episode.
everyone.